Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone's well. Thank you for joining me or us on our last travels together. I'm being told this session is going to be much more gentle than the others, which is a blooming good thing. So it just remains to finish off the story, I think. Yeah, there's not much I have to say now. All previous episodes are done, and there's not much more to say on that, so it's just going to be lessons learnt, I think, in summary. And yeah, it's going to be a lot more gentle. I'm not sure if we're going to be actually travelling anywhere, but we'll have to wait and see what happens. But my voice is already going, so I'm definitely sure there's Christians about. I've already lit candles for Spirit and for you, community, whoever's watching. I'm just going to light the candle for myself. There we go. Right. I think I'm just going to get straight into it. I can't feel any other presences around. The last video I did, I definitely felt spirits buzzing around me, and there were lots around me, and their story came through. But yeah, this one seems a lot quieter and a lot more gentle. So I'm just going to have a few glugs of tea as usual and get on with it. I just have to say that since I released the trauma, since the story's been done, I've slept really, really well, and I haven't slept well since August last year. So it's been really nice, really nice to wake up with the alarm and not wake up in the middle of the night all the time. But I guess everything's been released, so the story's been told. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to get on with it, and we'll see see who's there, and see what anybody has to say. Let's move this in a bit. As always, if my eyes are closed, then it's Spirit speaking. If I say it's Hannah speaking with my eyes closed, you'll know it is me speaking still, but usually if I've got my eyes closed, it's Spirit speaking. So I think we'll just get on with it and see what happens. I'll see you on the other side. Good morning, everybody. It's Christian here. Soul Christian. Christian who's free from all boundaries. All chains. Floating free to be wherever I want to be. Visiting friends, saying hello to people I've never met before. I'm working with Hannah, even though she's unaware of it in the physical. Soul Hannah and I visit lots of people. We touch their lives. Give a little poke in the right direction. Say a few calming words. And then disappear. Poof. We've been doing this for a long time. Eons, actually. So if you get a visit from either of us, believe it and act on it. The truth will always set you free. This is Hannah speaking. I've got my throat's tightened up and I've got it's not a pain, it's just a feeling in the back of my head up here, sort of back top of my head. There's lots of, my hands are tingling, there's lots of energy here. Oh, it's like the so like, you know, when you're at a theatre and they have the last, everyone comes on stage and has gives a bow. That's what it feels like here. It's like there's somebody on my left and somebody on my right holding my hand. It's like we're bowing. It's like the final bow. Oh, there's lots of, it's like we're part of a theatre company, like a storytelling company. You've hit the nail on the head, Hannah. That is essentially what we've all been doing, here with you. You're like the lead storyteller, the lead actor, and we've been all supporting you, giving you the story to tell and to finish. The story is now nearly at an end. The only puzzle piece left are the camera chips, camera, what do you call them? Cards. About the camera cards. They're going to come to you. I can see, this is Hannah speaking, I can see an eye in front of in my inner vision. You can view the contents of these cards. This will be the final proof that others might need to believe you. There will always be others who don't believe you and the story we've told, but that's up to them. You can't fix that. You've done everything in your power to show the truth, the unpalatable truth for some. That loss is just an illusion. You can speak across time and space with spirit. It's an ability everyone has, but it scares many people. I'm like having the blanket I've got on my lap is a blanket that's mentioned in the book Christian and I've written, and I'm feeling it put round my shoulders. And I can see a cross in front of my inner vision, which I see a lot. It's always lying down and then it comes upright. Few are willing to rebirth on earth this way. You've been beyond brave to do this in public. But your persistence and ultimate willing to find your brother's truth and story will act like a beacon of hope and inspiration for many who are in the depths. The story you and your brother have told will teach by design the lessons of truth, faith, and love through adversity and beyond. growth and healing after loss is possible, and your story proves this. The story contains many universal truths which Hannah, darling girl, you must, MUST in capitals, spread. There's no point in having done all this work and been through all these trials without spreading the messages contained in your story with Christian. It would be a complete travesty if you now rested on your laurels and did nothing with this story. I can just see myself typing. You must write. You started the correct story in August, and you now have all the information and story to finish the book. We're sending you PR and agent and many plane journeys, real plane journeys, are to follow. Your body and being will be able to cope with all the travel and things asked of you. But know that you have your theatre company right behind you. They're never going to leave you alone on the stage. And many surprise guests. Will join you from near and far. Don't forget to enjoy every second. You thoroughly deserve this time in the limelight for all you've done and for all those you've helped along the way. You don't actually realise, I feel like real heat all over my head now. You don't actually realise what these films have meant for people and will mean for people. Iconic. Is all we can say now. But dearest Hannah, you still STILL can't see what's ahead of you. You're not one for the limelight. I'm just seeing like a theatre light, one beam on the stage. You have to step into that. You must. MUST. You'll be doing God's work. And he has some things to say to you all now. Okay, I presume this is next, God. Easy. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Just walk with me into that light. And there's nothing to it. When you sat in church all those months ago, crying and telling me that you would never believe in me if I didn't bring Christian home. I promised you then that I would. We walked out of the church together, arm in arm. I said I'd always be at your side. And even though I didn't deliver Christian to you alive in the physical, I think you'll agree you now have an even more amazing relationship with your brother than you ever thought possible. Often the things we chase after, run after, grasp for, believing them to be our desires, our heart's desires. They are not actually part of the story which you'll follow in life. Often what you believe you want is not for you. What will actually be best for you is something you cannot yet see. I'm being Mrs. Hannah speaking, I can feel like a real being risen up on a platform, like a solid platform. I'm being held, being lifted up. You just have to trust that you're always supported and held. But you first, to move forward, have to let things fall away. You can't fill a full space. You have to release to rise. And that's essentially your story, Hannah. The day your son came home with that book of refugees, the refugee story, for you to read to him. The day you had Christian's belt rolled into a circle. The day you held the rock in your hands. The day you bought the shelving. All of those elements came together. And you and your son sat, read the book, cried, and released your control over the situation. You could not control the situation, however hard you tried to find Christian. You had reached the end of the road. You had tried every which way to find him. But you gave control to me. Finally. That was the real catalyst. For you finding Christian. It wasn't how you expected to find him, but I always promised you I'd help you find him. I don't want you to step into the limelight all jazz hands and razzmatazz, because that's not you. It never has been you. All you can be is yourself. Tell your story quietly and clearly. Don't let anyone tell you how you should tell the story. Regain full control over how you are in front of the audience. You have my permission to just like batting away, like repel any one who sees you as a money making opportunity. You've already met one or two of those. Along the path. But you can recognize them now. This has not been easy for you personally. You feel those closest to you don't know what you are going through or experiencing. You don't feel you have their support. You don't even believe. They love you to some degree. But that will all be swept away when you step into that light. You have to let them see who you really are and what you've been up to. You have to remember that the truth can set you free, as you've already seen with Christian. I'll say no more about that, but just trust that they will all come back to you. Even the one that really is closed in his mind. He's very low. But you can rise him up. Anyway. I'm telling you this in public so that people will see. It's been an incredibly hard journey for you to keep on the path when it would have been quite easy to fall away. I can just see like hands pulling me down. Get off that path. Don't step into that light, spotlight. Keep yourself small. Keep yourself quiet. It was very tempting to just retrain as a plumber and not follow your true path. But fuck it. You put on your maroon robe and stride it out, knowing that the path would always hold you, that you would always be supported. That path was at first covered in dust. You couldn't see it clearly. But as you've walked along and swept the path to see the truth, you can see it all very clearly, and it leads to the spotlight. You have to stand in that spotlight, and this is for everybody. Without knowing it, you've become the poster girl for striding forward, letting chains fall from you, through understanding and forgiveness. And sometimes dragging yourself along the floor, fingernails by fingernails, clawing your way to stay on the path. You've rested when you've needed to. I'm seeing Christian now under the tree in Quito where he had to rest. You both rested when you needed to. But you've always kept going. Christian kept going with the knowledge that you, Hannah, were with him. I can feel my heart, like my body getting stronger. He knew you, his sister, was in his body, in his heart, in his head. Even though you were alive in the physical, you could still be part of his life from afar. This is really important for other people who are missing people. Even if you are alive, you can still be in other people's hearts far away. They will know you're there. Now, there's a lot in my head. I've focused on my head. If you sit quietly and let that person fill your head, speak to them. I'm hearing a gospel song. Speak to me in a clear voice. Reaching through the pain and sorrow. Hear me when I cry. Speak to me in a small voice. You can do this with people who are still in the physical, and you can do this with people who are in spirit. This is all in my head. I can't feel. I know my body's here, but this is Hannah speaking, by the way. I can feel it in my. My body's still here, but this energy is all in my head. It's all in the head and the heart. This connection you have with others, even if you're alone, sitting by yourself, you have this ability. Everybody does. Speak to me in a small voice. Clearing all the pain and sorrow. Clearing all the pain and sorrow. It's really important to clear all the pain and sorrow. Let these feelings and emotions rise up. Tears, cry them. Release them. And then they go. Then you have a clear channel from your heart through your head space, through the crown, up to spirit. Then I can see a magpie. Magpie to me means looking out for signs. Anything that appears sparkly or interesting, pick it up, look at it. It might be feathers, colours, noises, feelings, bodily feelings, numbers, songs, performances like plays, films, books, radio, nature, you can see a cross again. You need to be reborn as a child. Wonder. Look at life with wonder. Grieving keeps you chained. To the spot. It keeps you from moving forward. The path that Hannah's described is there, ahead of you, but hidden. Those in spirit look down and wish that you would lose the chains. They want you to release the chains of grief and heaviness and loss. And connect with them to the path ahead. They can show you the path ahead and help you sweep the path and discover the path. Walk into the light again. They'd much prefer to see you in the light than sitting in the dark. Nobody should stay in the dark. It's a waste of life. A life. What do you learn from sitting in the dark? The lesson is not to sit in the dark, alone, scared, disconnected from everybody. This is Hannah speaking. I'm in a box, in a dark box. I can't see a way out. My head's heavy. This is not the state you should be in. Okay, so I was very aware of spirit up here and myself in the box, but now I'm in the box, or I'm on the ground, but it's light now and there's lots of people around, helping me, holding out their hands to me, kind of sort of beckoning. But the people I can see in front of me are connected to who's in spirit. And actually there are lots in spirit, and they're all connected somehow to one of the people. It's like a connection to one of the people in front of me. So the people who reached you to help, they're all connected to somebody in spirit who's helping. I can just see myself reaching out to them now, to their hands, and clasping their hands. You need to work with others to create beauty and light and love. Okay, I've got I can see like a dark, shriveled heart in me. But through those connections you make with people, the heart turns red and is pumping. You can see the cross again, which is rebirth, reborn. It's okay to move forward in life and leave your grief behind. The way forward is where your spirit wants you to go. They're ahead of you, they're waiting for you there. They want you to come out of your darkness. It hurts them to see you there in your darkness. Be the magpie. See the signs. Take hold of the hands being offered to you. Move into your light. The light is where you should be, where your true self-worth and being is. If everybody in the world stood in their light, there would be no divisions. There'd be no greed. No barriers between peoples. Alright, this is Hannah speaking. I can see the light in the middle, and we're all around it in a circle, and we're all in the darkness here in a circle, and all the paths lead into this one light in the middle. And if we all went into our being in the middle, that's where we would all be connected together. It's like the wheels on like a wheel with all the spokes leading to the centre, like on a bike. That's our oneness. And if we were all there in that one place, there would be no division between anybody anymore. That's the ideal place where we should all be. We weren't put on this earth to be all on the outside, separated in the dark. Hannah's walked this path, and she's standing just outside the light. She needs to step into it so that others can see and hear these messages. I'm standing in the light now, and I'm like beckoning everybody around me to join me. The path Hannah and Christian have walked together. When the story is told all together, there are many lessons in there. They don't actually need to be spelt out. You just need to tell the story, Hannah. The ancient art of storytelling. People will hear it on different levels. Different things will speak to them. Just tell your story clearly and freely, without giving in to others' demands of how the story should be told. The previous films, 3 films, are perfect. No words should be changed in them. People will listen to the story or read the story, and it will touch them in different ways. Make them think about their own situation, their own lives, their own relationships, what's possible, and where their future lies. You will bring many people into the light with you. The people who refuse all your beckoning, it's okay for them to stay in the dark. It's up to them. You can't change them. They will either come in their own time, rushing to catch up with everybody else, or they will sit down, just seeing like a child sitting there, like a child sitting with crossed legs and crossed arms and a grumpy face. It's not their time to move. They are childlike with bolshy, closed off, rather than a child who sees wonder around them and moves into the light. People in the darkness is not your responsibility, Hannah. Not your responsibility. Leave them there. All you can do is beckon with your story by showing the path you've been on. Christian's here. You and Christian will do this work together. Stand proud and tall. Lean on each other when you need to. He'll always be there. He won't desert you. Never again. Just being shown that picture that I posted, just the previous post, with us leaning against each other, propping each other up. He'll appear with you every time you're on stage, every time you go into the limelight. You share the limelight together. This is your story. So what did Christian learn? Okay, Christian's now moved into me. So what I say next will be Christian. Okay. Oh, what haven't I learnt? The lessons. I know everybody likes lists and points, so I'm going to give you my top points. It might be 5, I'm not sure yet. Number 1, follow your dreams, but be prepared for the road to be rocky. Number 2, you can't control everything. However much you plan for things, you're always knocked off course. Number 3, build yourself up inside. You feel strong inside and happy in yourself. All the knocks might tip you, but you'll always be able to get back on your course. This is the first lesson that Hannah learnt. Or one of them. Number 4, trust your instincts. Trust your gut feeling. Don't listen to others. Don't be swayed by others. If I'd listened to others, I'd have never done this journey to Africa. 5, this journey to Africa was my path. I travelled it. I was helped by all sorts of people on the way. Towards the end, it was grandmother, Mama Joan and Hannah. The help was always there to pull me forward. I just had to believe in it and trust it. Number 6. Love the children. Keep them in wonder. Keep them innocent. They teach us the world as it should be. They're all in the light to begin with. Then they find themselves on the rim of the wheel. When adults pull them and guide them, let them stay in the light. Number 7. Can't quite feel what this is. It's like a be free, release. It's like a releasing. I feel very free. It's like be the eagle, rise up. We've talked about it before. What would your soul self do and say and be? If you need guidance, be the eagle. Your soul self knows where you should be going. Number 8. It's like this big heart I can just see in front of me. Love is all you need. Love knows no bounds. Knows no boundaries. Is unconditional. Mends broken things. Finds lost things. And is the calming balm that's needed in the world at this moment. If everyone could live with a little more understanding and empathy for others and self-love, and extend that to the animals, nature, the environment, there would be more harmony reigning in the world. And it wouldn't be as fucked up as it is. Excuse my language. Number 9. The man in sunglasses. George. who ultimately killed me, is now with me in spirit. We're side by side. Forgiveness that was given by Hannah to George has released all the chains in the past and allowed Hannah to be free of them and to step forward into the light. Right, my head's really full of crappy thoughts, negative thoughts, and it's all linked to these chains holding me down. Changing the thoughts. Airing the thoughts. Exploring the thoughts you have. Cutting the chains. Understanding where the chains come from and why they exist. Allows them to be released. Forgiveness moves mountains in yourself. It's not easy. It's not meant to be easy. But it allows you to clear your thoughts and focus on your proper path into the light. Number 10. Hiding away from feelings or trying to block them out. It doesn't allow you to walk along the path. You'll be pulled by the chains all the time. And they'll keep you falling off the path. Number 11. Truth will set you free. It's easy to hide from the truth. But it's not something I recommend. It's much better to be able to see in clear focus the obstacles and reality of your situation. I learnt that in Africa. My eyes were open to so many truths about myself, about spiritual matters. You can see the cross again. I had many epiphanies in Africa. I learnt many lessons in Africa, which I'll carry through into my next life. Number 12, next life. We all have multiple lives, and each life we grow and learn lessons as we evolve and rise. Difficulties in life are there to be learnt from. They're opportunities for growth. Number 13. And just kind of see a horizon, like scanning the horizon. There's no point in worrying about the future and continually scanning the horizon for dangers. Now and here is what matters. Deal with what you have right in front of you. When you reach that horizon, you'll find that most often what you worried about is not there. Concentrate on now, what you have now. 14. I'm eating. Eat the plants. Eat the plants, not the animals. Eat the vegetables and grains, not the animals. When Hannah's finished with me, she's going to work with the animals. As she's done for a long time previously. Alongside the children, the animals have so much to teach us. And generally we disregard the animals. The way they live. Especially the insects. of lessons for all of us. 15. Even if the day looks dark, the day will always end. The nighttime will restore, and the day break will bring renewal. The trials will always end at some point. And rebirth is always, always available to you and those around you. 16. The way you live your life and the energy you put out will always be reflected back to you. I don't need to say any more on that, but just think about the energy you send out into the world. "16 years and 16 lessons." I feel very emotional. And Hannah, you haven't got any tissues. But I just want to say, as we close these travels together, that I'm immensely proud of you, my sister, my big sister. And I know how desperately hard it's been for you without me in the physical. But now we move on together, side by side, supporting each other into the light. We march side by side. And God on the other. No harm will come to you or your lovely family. And I'll keep touching your life and those of the family and friends forever and ever. Until we rebirth together. I'm always by your side. Now you just need to write the story. And stand in the light and beckon to people. The path is already there. You just have to be the magpie. And follow the outstretched hands, the creating the links with others. And that last question you had, about the rescue. I did attach myself to George, and I gave him a hell of a time. For anyone contemplating doing something bad, don't do it. There's always another way. There's always a hand stretched out to you. But do you know what? The greatest friend you'll ever have is yourself. Self-love is the key. That unlocks the path to the light. There doesn't need to be anything else said, Hannah. These sessions are now at a close. You'll look back on these sessions and wonder how they happened and how the words came out of your mouth. But they did. And this whole experience has been incredible. And all the words we've said together will be the basis for your book. If you look back at the words, they all make sense. All the details make sense. The storytelling, the crafting of the story all makes sense. It's a very clear message. You just need to tell the message with clarity, humility, and love for all. And that, my dear sister, is all there is to say. Now I can just see a black dot a small black dot in front of my vision. I'm getting like everyone's kind of giving me acknowledgement, and then it's floating, they're kind of disappearing. Okay, I can open my eyes now. That's the end. Truly the end. Okay. Well, that was all calm and nice. I don't think there's anything else I need to say. So, I'm going to love you and leave you, and let that all settle, and we'll see what happens next. I hope these films have been helpful for you. Yeah, nothing else to say. Okay, lots of love. Bye bye.